Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here in the Weather Center on this Sunday afternoon, tracking some severe weather potential here. I know earlier on we had a couple tornado warnings toward Duval and Nassau counties, and now we are back with you because we have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings in play. These were storms we were just tracking here when we went off just a little while ago. We thought they might get warnings, and they have gotten warnings over the last 10 minutes or so. One of these for parts of Duval and St. Johns counties until 3:15. At about 2:47, there's a severe thunderstorm detected there near Fruit Cove, moving south at about 10 miles an hour as we zoom in there. Not many communities showing up, but again, Fruit Cove there, Wardglaw Village involved with this, and there was a report of some smaller hail, but only to about 0.25 inches in diameter. And then as we get toward the north here, this is really why I wanted to come on, because it's a little more populated area in terms of the nature of things, really right over Kingsland per se. A severe thunderstorm warning in play until 3:15. At 2:49, a severe thunderstorm detected near Kingsland there, moving southwest at 5 miles an hour. North central Nassau and southeastern Camden. So again, things popping up on us here. We gave you the heads up on it just a little while ago here, really. The potential things don't look overwhelming at this point in terms of severe weather. It seems as if these storms really aren't gaining any intensity. They might be trying to weaken back down a little bit, even since the warnings were issued here moments ago. But again, I just want to stay on guard, obviously, here this afternoon as we're tracking things. You see a report there of some pea-sized hail in toward Camden County as well. So definitely just kind of something to keep your eyes on here this afternoon as we're watching the situation. And I'm just checking some different things behind the scenes here. Looking at some of our different population numbers, and this warning here actually has about 42,772 in it, and the other warning there down toward the south actually has a little bit more, even though you don't really have the cities necessarily right there, according to our mapping anyway, our GIS mapping right there in the middle of it. You still have people living down there, and it's about 45,171 people. So again, just something kind of interesting to see there. But really, the heart of Kingsland, where people maybe are shopping this afternoon, going to the grocery store, versus, I mean, just a regular leisure shopping per se, anything like that might be getting impacted here this afternoon by some stronger weather. Again, these don't look overwhelming, but we are now getting reports down toward the south. There might be some power outages, it looks like there, and also some pea-sized hail. So I'm not really getting a severe report in, but we did get a report in, a delayed report. And somebody was asking a question here on Facebook a little while ago. I didn't really have an answer for him a moment ago. We just got a report in here a few moments ago of maybe some wind damage here, whether it's from a potential tornado or just over the last few moments. I'll kind of go back on the radar here, and let me do that on our other mode, because I believe this would have to be from a little bit earlier where we had, yeah, it looks like that would have had to have been from Roy, the tornado warning situation. But you see that one icon, apparently there was information sent in of a railroad crossing arm damaged there at Airport Center Drive and North Main Street. So that could have been from something that's in toward Ocean Way, 1 mile northeast of Ocean Way. So just trying to kind of answer that question from earlier that I saw on Facebook there. There may have been something there 1 mile northeast of Ocean Way, but really all around that area where we had the rotation over the last hour. You can kind of see that. It's kind of interesting to see here within the Doppler radar technology and our shear rate product. But again, we do have 2 warnings right now in play here. Excuse me, until 3:15. So again, we're going to continue to watch the situation. You can see the south, they just dropped Duval out of it, but this storm's now pretty much stationary over Fruit Cove. And it is something that they're watching. We could have a little bit of hail damage, wind damage, things of that sort. I mean, general thunderstorm risk can produce severe thunderstorm warnings this time of year for sure, as we get toward the summertime months. But you don't normally get tornado warnings like what we saw here earlier on, but we were on top of it here, giving you that latest information to protect you, your friends, and your family earlier on. And you can see here marginal risk down toward the south, and there is now a severe thunderstorm warning issued by the Melbourne office for hail potential there near, looks like Rockledge. So we actually have the risk of severe weather and technically a 5% chance of a watch. That's what we're going to be seeing if maybe something evolves here later on, because I know we're looking toward Volusia County right now. You see quite a bit of accident west of Daytona Beach, quite a bit of lightning there. And that's south of Flagler County, so kind of interesting to see there. but nothing severe at this point. The hail tracker showing just under that. That might be our next severe warning, though. Maybe one for Volusia there as we kind of watch things, and maybe even trying to slip into Flagler County over the next little bit. We'll just have to wait and see. But real quick, we'll go to the north and west because I know folks maybe have an interest up here. From this national standpoint, there is a risk here, not just 1 out of 5 even, but a 2 or 3 out of 5 risk here as we get toward parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Texas. You kind of get the idea. There's a bunch of thunderstorm warnings in play right now. As we're looking here, you see Russellville in Arkansas and Fayetteville. We have quite a few thunderstorm warnings, seeing 60-mile-an-hour wind and hail there, potentially around University of Arkansas. So definitely a nasty afternoon there in the natural state. But as we get back down toward the south and east here, again, we're watching things carefully. You see our yellow boxes in our area. These are small boxes here at this point, but just wanted to jump back on with you. I know we gave you the heads up a little while ago about this potential of these evolving, and since then they strengthened. Now they seemingly have weakened back on down some. They may be below severe limit to this point, but I'll check velocity. Let me go ahead and go to our velocity product here. There's still a little bit of wind energy in here as we get down toward the south. So let me go ahead and look down here. As we get southeast of Fruit Cove, you can kind of see here maybe some wind energy. Really nothing that impressive. I mean, that's a downward signature, and you kind of see how things evolve here. Nothing's really necessarily strengthening here. Again, probably some weakening at this point in toward Kingsland here. We'll kind of back it up. You see a little bit of that as well. Broad wind pattern, and now kind of seeing a weaker version of that. So we'll continue to watch here in the Weather Center. We're at 304, continuing this. So these warnings both only go to 315. So this is not a situation where if these get dropped, we would stay on past that unless we get other ones issued, which we could, I suppose, down toward Flagler County. Could get another warning at least issued, one maybe for Volusia by the Melbourne office, and then Flagler is covered by Jackson. But we don't cover Volusia here. But since this could impact Flagler, that's why I'm kind of mentioning it a little bit more here. But again, we're saying in the chat session, as I go ahead and zoom back out now, they're saying the radar still shows a few strong and severe storms from Camden County southward to north parts of St. Johns County. Intense lightning occurring over southern parts of Flagler with the main threats here in all these areas. And again, I think that area in Volusia may be the strongest at this point. The main threats are with the severe warning storms, at least gusts to 60 and marginally severe hail, but that's going down there. Could go severe. Well, also, by the way, just while we're on, I wouldn't mention that there's a lunar eclipse tonight. Hopefully things clear out enough for us to be able to get the view of that here with a peak around midnight of that total lunar eclipse. So that'll be, of course, important to kind of watch if you're interested in some of the different things there with the moon. Don't happen too often. But also, as we continue our severe storm and our strong storm coverage, we do see some action in McCulloch County now. That's kind of interesting to watch because I know folks at that FSU baseball game want to watch it. That's actually pretty strong looking on our Tallahassee radar. So let me go ahead and go to radar scope now. We could get some type of warning out here out of the Tallahassee office in short order. Maybe for parts of Liberty with colors. So we have to be kind of mindful of that. This is an advisory though until looks like about 3:45 for wind gusts to 40 to 50 miles an hour. So gonna have to kind of watch things. Let me see if we can get some different views. And I apologize, don't mean to pop that up, but I'm trying to make sure we can give you that view of that lightning, obviously, here on some of our different products. We'll get that here for you in just a little bit. But again, continuing our coverage right now, trying to see what's happening here. You can see a little bit of wind energy in there. Maybe not terribly impressive. You do see an outflow boundary coming from this here. So that could actually be indicative of something here that we'll have to watch later on in the timeline to maybe spur and spark some more developments. So something to watch there for sure as you're maybe interested in that baseball game there this afternoon in toward Tallahassee. I'm going to see if there's any updates on that real quick while I'm checking. Looks like it's still going there in the 8th inning, 6-4. So last home game of the year scheduled for FSU baseball, but of course you want them to have more home games because if there are more home games, then that would be in the regional round of the playoffs. The next game is in Gainesville before they have a weekend road series after that. But we'll go ahead and look here as we look at the Doppler right now. A few small hail reports. These are not severe reports, and I suspect this storm is not severe here toward the southeast of Fruit Cove at this point. So and the same with the Kingsland storm. So honestly, it's really probably more about this Volusia County storm to see what it does, because we do have a new significant weather advisory for parts of Flagler. Neither office going with a warning here at this point. In fact, I mean, Volusia here in the Melbourne office, they didn't actually, I don't think, issued a significant weather advisory on it as of last check. Granted, I don't have their chat open. They might have issued them at the same time. They might both pop up here on us in just a second. But you do see maybe a little bit something in correlation coefficient in terms of that hail. But as we get toward the north here again, haven't had any severe reports from these two thunderstorm warnings. Have had a severe report from the tornado warning accident, though it seems. Their photo of a railroad crossing arm damage at Airport Center Drive in North Maine there, 1 mile north-northeast of Ocean Way. So that kind of answered that question from earlier on Facebook. If you're watching here in the coverage, just trying to kind of give you guys that. If there was something that touched down, it might have been in that area, might have been Roy, just you were in that vicinity, because we had that warning for a while here, and some just interesting features overall in these situations. So again, right now, I'm not terribly impressed if the storms were at this stage here when it was ready to cut in, when it was time to cut in here a moment ago. I probably wouldn't go on, because these storms don't look as impressive. But I just want to kind of make sure things don't change here before these warnings expire. So let me check our power outage numbers now. These are the numbers from just a little while ago. Let me see. I don't think we have anything new, but let me double check. Okay, yeah, these are the latest numbers. You can see here from a little while ago, 667 customers in the dark in St. John's, Flagler, none, Duval, 300. So that's a really low number. If there was a tornado that touched down, could have touched down for a moment, though, and caused a little bit of an issue, or maybe not even hidden anything in terms of the electrical equipment. But Nassau County, only 2, Baker, 3, Bradford, 9, nothing really toward this area. You see, toward Alachua 8, nothing as much in toward North Central Florida is what I mean by that. But we're watching that. We're watching the Georgia numbers too. So I'll go to the national math. I know on this national math here. Let me say that again, national math here. I know we're doing the math with the power outage, the calculations, but we're going to look at the mapping right now here to see that Missouri actually has the most customers in the dark right now. They have that enhanced risk of severe weather up that way here today. See award, it looks like some of these counties here, some outages in play closer towards Springfield, but then we get here toward Georgia, just a few outages in the state. You can see Kansas does have a few of them now. We're watching that one storm here, 472 customers in the dark there, so nothing too impressive, nothing overwhelming here at this point. We just have to keep our eyes on things here, because things can change, obviously. So the one warning did go away. They expired St. John's, but they've kept the one for Camden County for now. We're seeing just enough in the reflectivity and the velocity. It seems room to keep it, but they still very well may get rid of this at 315. As we continue to watch again, that accident down toward Flagler and Volusia is worth monitoring here. As we just got a report toward Bayard, it looks like I've hailed 7/10 of an inch in diameter from 255. So curious to see exactly where that is popping up on our products here. As we just got an informational bit coming in from the Weather Service, and meteorologists here in the chat session, as they're starting to see now, they're saying additional activity develop further inland toward Clay County as the sea breeze continues to move inland. And in addition, a number of outflow boundaries exist from ongoing convection to help initiate, it looks like, more storms east of the sea breeze here. In general, expect convective activity to increase in covered inland through the afternoon hours. So with these storms moving so slow here, we might be kind of watching things for a while, really, in this type of setup. So again, continuing to track things very carefully, continuing to give you guys the very latest information, obviously, here in the Weather Center, trying to see what's going on. We're going to see where some of these reports are coming in. It looks like I did get an idea of where that one report was earlier on, of 7/10 of an inch in diameter hail. It looks like it was just outside of the warning technically, but again, that's not even severe criteria technically there either, so that's not something you have to worry about too much there. But that one indicator here, I batted up on radar a little while ago, to that point anyway, from a little while ago, where we have 0.7 inches in diameter showing up. It shows up a little differently on here because I have it on one of our different systems that kind of just rounds it up or down a little bit, depending on the situation. Sometimes I'll use another source, which will kind of change the polygon colors to different looks at those as necessary in terms of maybe more enhanced severe weather potential, in terms of maybe higher wind damage potential or higher hail damage potential. So continuing to watch things here this afternoon. You do have that severe storm down toward Rockledge here, inch in diameter there, but at this point we're not seeing too much here in terms of the accident. You see that warning toward Camden County being dropped off the map right now, so that's good news. We're still going to watch that accident in Flagler, and we definitely could have to either come back on for that or just post about it, really depending on how things go. But let's just go and give you guys the heads up, because this is a situation where things can kind of come and go pretty quickly. So I want to make sure people are kind of aware of what could happen down there towards southern Flagler County later on. By the way, another interesting tidbit, we didn't mention this during the tornado coverage earlier, but we did have a funnel cloud spotted yesterday into Sumter County. So just kind of interesting how the atmosphere can be sometimes here in mid-May, early May. We didn't have anything touching down, but that was kind of interesting to see here within some of the different reports and some pictures coming on out of that area down toward the villages. So I know getting reports in right now, the Gulf sea breeze is starting to move inland here. That Gulf Street sea breeze there will be affecting areas from Suwanee to Gilchrist to Marion over the next hour or so. So we'll have to continue to watch that. You see a little bit of accident in Levy County here, west of Morriston right now. So we'll have to kind of see how that plays on out here as we continue to track some of our different wind speeds here, gusts at times. We'll watch that accident toward the Tallahassee area as well, toward parts of McCullough. Doesn't look quite as impressive there. This is west of Crawfordville, if you're wondering, by the way. We're seeing a little bit of that accident. I'll pop that up for you guys here. Just kind of making sure we don't get any new warnings here before we wrap it up. But there's what we're looking at there toward the south of Midway there and toward the west there, really, of Crawfordville. You kind of get the idea. Some lightning danger showing up there, but nothing too impressive there overall. So that's the good news. But right now, we're just going to keep our eyes on things down toward Flagler County, because that could end up getting a warning here in the next little bit. Right now, we're kind of on the edge of some radars. Let me pull up the Melbourne radar for this, because that could give us a better view. We'll look at the Brevard storm off of it real quick to see how things are setting up. And you can see a little bit of wind enhancement there, but then toward this area, it didn't look all that impressive, actually, on that radar in terms of the winds. But we're looking higher up, so you just never know. But I think we're going to wrap it up for now. If we need to come back on there, we will. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll be here in the Weather Center to monitor things as necessary throughout the day, throughout the night. We have that threat tomorrow as well. Real quick, let me get that graphic set up for you guys so we get us the latest look at tomorrow's risk area, because there is a threat as we get towards some of those South Georgia counties here tomorrow. We are also watching a little bit of some tropical mischief, by the way, but I don't want to get too much into that right now. Of course, we're not doing a formal update on Tuesday, but something we'll watch here toward the Gulf of Mexico, maybe, as we look ahead later on in the timeline. But that's something that hadn't developed yet, and still a ways away from any type of concern here for the local area. But it could be something to watch here as we get closer, at least. It'd be before, but closer toward Memorial Day weekend. So that'll be something we'll touch on if needed. But just look here at tomorrow's risk area. You do see here this marginal risk in play. Blakely, Albany, Bainbridge, Thomasville, Tipton, Douglas, and getting there just north of Waycross. Really, there is that 1 out of 5 risk for some wind and hail concern. The bigger risk actually is up toward Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Scranton, Pennsylvania. You kind of get the idea, but it's a little bit of that hanging on down into our area. I thought we would bring that up for you guys real quick, just in case. Of course, you get the latest updates on those outlooks, those SPC outlooks there at cloudweather.com/Severe. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in. Trust and Move. We'll be back here as needed throughout the day to keep you guys advised of the situation.